Hello everybody! Welcome back to another episode of the Rezzed recap for 2013. Today we are going to be talking about Franknjohn. In this game, there is a crazy mad scientist called Dr. Harmon, who was a perfectly normal scientist, until he was driven mad by the loss of his terminally ill son. In an attempt to replace his lost child, he becomes obsessed with the sense of power gained in creating life. Basically what he does is he tries to replace his son with some sort of Frankenstein monster type children he makes himself. It's a bit weird. Come on. It's a bit weird. But having said that, the game has only been in development, at least the build we were playing at Rezzed was only in development for 2 months. And for 2 months, I think visually, I'm impressed. For 2 months, I'm quite impressed by that. At the same time, gameplay-wise, you could really tell that this is a game that's only been in development for 2 months. I don't mean to be horrible about this, but, you know, basically the character you play, his head, it won't fully attach to his body, and that was why he was a failed experiment, and he gets locked into the basement with the rest of the experiments, and you're trying to get out of the basement. So that, I think that's the premise behind it anyway. And yeah, so you use your head as a weapon. Head comes off, you swing it round. Well, you don't really swing it round, you just chuck it out, pull it back in. And you keep doing this over and over. And you know what? It's a nice idea. I think they need to really figure out exactly how the head mechanic works. You know, the game's only been in development for 2 months. I don't want to over-criticize them. And I did like the fact that the worlds were randomly generated. You know, each time I played, it was completely different, and there was different mobs in different areas, and I had different rooms. Each time I died, I came back and it was there again, but completely different. I did like that. It was very nice. Even if you die, you still don't know what you're coming back to. I really like that. And there is going to be co-op elements in it, which always improves any game. You know, playing with your friends is always a good way of making sure people have fun. We didn't get to try that out because Alice was doing some recording and talking to the developers whilst I was playing, so I'm not sure how that works exactly. But we did talk to the developers, and they did say, Bitsmith Games, I'm going to hold you to this. They did say that they are going to give us a build of the game for us to play for the channel. So we should be able to, hopefully, if they allow us to, we should be able to get a bit of co-op going, if that's available. You know, and I did like the mob variety. There was like, what, self-destructing mobs that just run at you. And there was, you know, there was a bit of variety. There are bosses. I never got up to them. I spent a while at that booth, and I still didn't manage to see a boss. So, another interesting thing about the world generation is that there's different levels, and each level is above the next. And you start off on the top one, and I fell off the top one and landed on the one below. Now, I didn't expect at this point to plummet to my death, because that did not seem like a safe way to fall. But instead of that happening, you fall into a room full of mobs, and it's just like, keep going, keep going. I actually did enjoy that element of it. It was, you know, it was difficult. It seemed a little bit derpy, but it was really enjoyable. Just, you know, you have that moment of, oh, I've fallen off the edge, and then you just about land in another room. And instead of just going, oh no, it was more like, oh crap, and you know, you just carry on. You haven't got time to think about what you're doing. I really did enjoy that. That was really good. Overall, guys, this is a game that I'm gonna keep an eye on a little bit. Normally, 3D action platformers is not something I would really dwell on, but I actually did enjoy my time with them. Like I say, a few criticisms, but without really playing it in an environment where you can really get into it, I would say I can't really criticize them too much. So, with that, guys, keep an eye on for this if it does come up onto the channel, and I'll see you in the next episode.